Hello everybody and welcome back to Reading Reddit. Today's first story is called 3 Isn't Good Enough by Reddit user Helmet3. Let's get straight into the story. So earlier today, I was in Starbucks waiting for the barista to make my drink when an entitled mother walks in with their 8-year-old son. He looked 8 at least. She orders a coffee and is waiting as well. One of the employees was just cleaning up behind the counter and found a pumpkin cake, I think. It was a bag and uneaten, so he offered it to EM's son for free. After eating close to half of it, he went and said something to his mum, and they walked up to the counter. Let's call the mum EM, her son EK, and the barista B. EM, my son was given this cake and it doesn't taste good. Can we get a cake pop? B, that will be $1.50 or whatever they charge. EM, oh, I'm not paying for it. We just want to exchange the cake for the cake pop. EK, Mummy, I want a cake pop. B, ma'am, we gave it to you for free. We can't exchange it. I'm sorry. EK, but it tasted bad. EM, you gave my son a bad cake, so it'd compensate. It would be the least you could do. B, like I said, I'm sorry, but I'd get in trouble if I gave it to you for free. She proceeded to complain further and then leave with her coffee. People these days. This story is called You Upset My Kid, So Buy Him an Super Expensive Toy. This story is by a Reddit user Marowell. Let's get straight into the story. I was grocery shopping with my grandmother. The old lady was struggling with those terrible plastic bags at the vegetable aisle that you need some kind of magic powers to open. After I finished teasing her about how she was struggling, I gave her a paper bag, saying, "Here, it will be easier, and it's more environmentally friendly anyways. No sea turtles will choke on it." Since I was talking to an 87-year-old woman, my voice was a bit louder than it would be in a public setting. Since she is not hard of hearing, no missy, not at all. Everyone else is just too soft-spoken, and doesn't know how to articulate. And TV sound systems had just gone over to terrible over the years. No sooner I ended that sentence than I heard wailing in the vicinity of my hip. I looked down, and here was a little boy clutching his plushy sea turtle, and crying as if I just killed a bunch of sea turtles myself in front of his eyes. Oh no, I told myself, because I miraculously managed to have enough self-control to not curse in front of the kid I already managed to traumatize a bit. My very supportive grandmother grinned at me, wished me good luck, and walked away in the hunt for some chocolate cookies or another sugary item she pretends her doctor told her she can totally eat with her diabetes, and tries to sneak it in the cart when I'm not looking. Between the overgrown toddler that I call Mimi, the real toddler was still crying his heart out. I decided to deal with that thought that would be the easiest and crashed down to the boy's level. "Hey, kid, you heard what I said?" I asked in my soft, "This is a dangerous animal that will cack and kill you if you make a too loud noise or suddenly move voice." And the kid nodded his head quickly and forcefully. I lightly put my hand on his head to make him stop, because I was a bit afraid he'd make himself sick or snap his neck or something. "Where are your parents?" I asked him then. It only then occurred to me that this had been about half a minute, and no parents came to rescue their screaming kid. The kid pointed to a woman a bit far away. She was leaning on her cart, looking at her phone. I have to admit that I rolled my eyes, and internally passed judgment on this woman, while completely forgetting that I too spend my time in the store looking at my phone, since it's where there's the shopping lists. I was now a judgmental person, as well as a toddler's traumatizer. That was not a good day for me. Nonetheless, I took the kid's hand and walked him to the woman. She didn't notice us approaching, nor standing there. The kid had calmed down a bit, but he was still sniffling and hiccuping, and making weird crying noises that only toddlers have the "Excuse me, miss?" I called in my I'm talking to so not deaf grandma voice. Finally, she looked up from her phone, looked at me in a somewhat dazed look, then she finally noticed the kid who was still holding my hand and clutching his sea turtle, and clearly upset. She took her kid away from me, a bit forcefully. Her face changed into crazy angry person, and she yelled at me. "Why are you with my son? What have you done to him?" Since I was feeling guilty, I took the yelling, and I tried to explain the situation. It seems that he overheard me talking about the effect of plastic bags on sea turtles. I tried to phrase it in a way that I avoided saying it in front of her kid that sea turtles are dying, again, in a stupid hope that he had already forgotten what I heard 2 minutes ago. Of course, the mum don't understand and I need to be more explicit. So I literally spelled it out. I said they choke on it because I lost my brain and sensed the ridicule in the vegetable aisle, apparently. Of course, the kid wasn't entirely stupid. He might not know how to spell, but he knew what we were talking about and he didn't have any issue with immediate memory. So he went back to crying, and the mum ignored it. To her, the appropriate course of action here was to scream at me some more, instead of trying to comfort her kid. "Why would you tell this to a child?" she asked me. I didn't tell him that. I wouldn't do something like that. I was talking to my grandmother. I haven't seen him near me. He simply overheard. And I'm sorry he overheard that. I defended myself, and finally managed to work in the apology that I wanted to give since the beginning. "You shouldn't talk about such sensitive topics when there are kids around," she still screamed at me. At this point, I'm low-key impressed that her voice isn't hoarse already. "I didn't know that your kid was there," I repeated. Then I tried to go past it, because blame is good and great, but there's still an upset and confused kid here. "Look, I'm knowledgeable on the topic, and I'm used to work with kids. Would you agree that we can explain to him together so he can understand better and be less afraid for his best friend?" "Are you calling me a bad mom?" she screeched. Confused because, where the hell did she pick that from? I said. I answered, no? I have to confess, in petto, I was thinking that I was starting to consider it. I mean, woman, your kid is crying in your arms and you're more focused on me than your kid. What the hell? Then it occurred to me that it's time that I get myself away from the situation. "I apologize again," I said. "I'm sorry I unwillingly upset your son," I said to the woman. But I couldn't just leave it there without trying to reassure the kid somehow. "Don't worry, your friend will be fine if you make sure the plastic bags your family use don't go in the water." As I started to walk away, the woman grabbed my arm. "You stay here. This is not enough. I want you to buy him a toy to compensate." I foolishly agreed, thinking about the little €3 toys that they sell in the shop. They always have little figurines to do with the sea. But no, she had something else in mind. She brought me to the toys aisle and pointed out the little electric cars. Okay, here I understood. The kid surely asked for it. She doesn't have the money and is trying to use me to get it for him. I can't afford that. She tried to start to argue, but I cut her off. Look, I left my elderly and sick grandmother alone long enough. I need to get back to her, and I walked away very quickly, as if I'd eaten really spicy chili the night before and needed to go to the bathroom quickly. When I came back to my grandmother, she had added Oreos and chocolate eclairs to the cart. Then I had to convince her to not go and find the woman and hit her with her cane. She only agreed. This story is called Entitled Mum Capsizes Canoes. This story is by Reddit user Angriest Unicorn. Let's get straight into the story. So, EM equals Entitled Mum, ND equals Nice Daughter, me equals me, CC equals Co-Counselor. In the mid-2000s, I worked as a teenage camp counselor. The camp had two popular programs, backpacking and canoe. I worked exclusively in the backpacking program, but was trained to work for the canoe one if need be. During my third summer, the camp director asked me if I could cover a sick counselor's spot on the canoe trip for the weekend. I agreed and sealed my fate. For that week, we had 10 girls between the ages of 10 and 13 sign up for the trip, along with myself and co-counselor. ND was one of the older girls and was a great help to the younger campers. She told us this was the first summer her parents had been divorced, and it was her dad's idea to send her to camp. ND said her entitled mum, EM, was against her going and wanted ND to spend summer with her. ND said she wanted to spend the summer with her dad, which enraged EM. She said she was worried EM might sabotage the trip somehow, just to ruin her dad's plan. Both CC and I told her not to worry. Oh, we were wrong. Oh, so very wrong. We had 12 in total, with 6 canoes. 2 people per canoe, with a bunch of supplies tied securely into the canoes. Everyone had a life jacket and helmet. The first day went smoothly. ND is having a blast. My arms are getting a workout of a lifetime. Then, along came day 2. Speedboats were coming on the lake, but there are a strict rule that speedboats can only go 5 miles per hour, 8 kilometers per hour, when they were near canoes, especially canoes carrying children. Any faster than that would cause a large enough wake, small wave, that could capsize the canoes. Anyway, we're rowing near the shore for safety, making our way to the next campsite. when we hear a loud roar of a speedboat engine. I glanced over and saw a bright yellow speedboat heading towards us at top speed. I waited a few seconds to see if it would slow down, but alas, we were not happy. I blew my whistle to alert CC, whose canoe was ahead of us. She spotted the speedboat and shouted for everyone to angle! Angle meant to turn a canoe perpendicular to the wake, in hopes it would flip your behind into the water. CC, ND, and my canoe managed to turn in time, but the other 3 canoes were being manned by inexperienced preteens. It happened in a flash. A woman with wild hair and crazy eyes zoomed past our small gaggle of canoes and launched a mini tsunami at us. My canoe bobbed up and down like a jet turbulence, but managed to stay upright. 3 of the 6 canoes capsized, spilling preteen girls with the supplies into the water. Cue loud shrieking of panic and terror. CC yelled for me to make my way to the shore and alert the lifeguard station, as well as call back to camp for assistance. I paddled at warp speed and explained the situation to the lifeguards and our director back at camp. Fortunately, there were many witnesses, and some used their own boats to fish our campers out of the water. Most of the supplies were lost, and we were going to have to cut the trip short to replenish them. The camp director contacted the police about the speedboat driver and picked us up at the camp van. After all the campers were rescued and returned to the main camp, a woman was waiting for us at the camp entrance. She immediately launched herself at the van, pounding on the windows with rage and insanity, shouting, "ND, ND, come home to mama! I told you I'd find you!" ND sunk into her seat, dying of sheer embarrassment, and CC told the director this lady was crazy person who sunk our canoes. The director locks the car doors and windows and calls the police. I hand ND my flip phone and told her to call her dad to let him know about EM. EM continues to bang on the windows, shrieking insults and death threats if we don't hand over her daughter right now. Police show up and arrest EM. ND's father drives up to the camp and explains the situation. He and EM had a bitter divorce, and ND chose to live with him over EM. Apparently, EM has been trying to get revenge on ND's dad ever since. EM later confesses that she used the speedboat to scare ND to show her that the camp was dangerous. Her dad's idea was terrible, and ND would be better off spending the summer with EM. EM was cited for reckless driving, boating, and destroying camp property. I went back to working only on the backpacking trips. Rather risk bear encounters than EM encounters. This story is called "You've Got to Be Kidding Me." This story is by Reddit user What a Handful. I never thought this would happen to me, but it finally did. My daughter attends dance lessons, and the parents aren't allowed in the dance rooms, but there are cameras so the parents can watch. My daughter's lessons take a whole hour, so it gets pretty boring waiting for her to finish. There is currently an event happening on a game I play, and with less than 24 hours left, I decided to take my tablet with me to finish up the event. Enter EP and EK. EP gets her child ready for dance, then takes a seat, whips out her phone and proceeds to ignore her child, who is running around and banging on the empty seats. EK sees my tablet and runs over. Conversation ensues. EK, what are you doing? Me, there's an event I'm trying to finish. You can watch if you like, but please don't touch. EK, okay. So EK watches for a while, then asks if she can have a turn. I politely decline. EK, can I have a turn? Me, no, sorry. I got this tablet as a gift, and I don't even let my own kids play with it. EK, fine. She stomps off. I go back to playing my game, when the EK snatches the tablet out of my hand and runs back over to her mum. Me, hey, give that back. It's not nice to take things that don't belong to you. EK, mum said I could have it. You're too old to be playing games anyway. Me, give it back before I tell your mum. EK, mum said I could have it. I roll my eyes and turn to the mother, who is still glued to her phone. Me, excuse me ma'am, but your daughter stole my tablet, and I would like it back. Could you please tell her to hand it over? EP, she was bored and wanted something to do, and she seemed interested in your tablet, so I told her to go get it. She will only have it for a moment. Don't be so selfish, you're too old to be playing games anyway. Me, ma'am, that tablet was a gift and I would like it back. Could you please ask your daughter to give it to me? If not, I'll have to get the instructor to come and deal with this. EP, go ahead. You can't prove it's yours. I'll just tell her it belongs to EK. I go and get the instructor. This is the first time taking my tablet to dance, so unfortunately, she doesn't know it's mine. However, instructor, what is going on here? EP, this lady is trying to steal my daughter's tablet. Kick her out of here. She's being really rude and making my daughter upset. Me, it's mine. I got it as a gift. I would like it back. I can prove it's mine if she just hands it over. EP, how dare you? My daughter got this for her birthday. Instructor, ma'am, pass it here. If it really is your daughter's, then she would know the passcode. The instructor locks the tablet and hands it back. EP and EK are trying a bunch of combinations, but nothing is working. Instructor passes it to me, I unlock it first time, and there is even a picture of my daughter as the background. Instructor, ma'am, you know this is theft, right? EP, well, who needs a stupid tablet anyway? Come on, EK, let's go. EK, but mom, I haven't had my lesson yet. EP, the staff here are rude. I will sign you up somewhere else, where the staff treat us right. Now go! EK is dragging out crying, while EP is ranting about how rude the staff here are, and that they deserve better. I pack up my tablet, hold onto the bag tight for the rest of the lesson. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check out our other videos, subscribe to the channel for more, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching.